Imagine, if you will, diving deeper and deeper into the ocean. The familiar, warm sunlight from the surface slowly begins to fade away, right? And it's replaced by this expansive, almost mysterious shadow. Well, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going on an immersive journey to solve one of nature's absolute most fascinating mysteries. We're going to look at how life doesn't just survive, but actively thrives in the pitch-black abyss of the deep sea. So get ready, because we are exploring the secret language of light beneath the ocean. So to really wrap our heads around this mystery, we first got to understand the environment we're dealing with. Starting up at the surface, things are bright, they're warm, but as we drop down to about 200 meters, we enter what marine biologists call the twilight zone. Here, the sunlight becomes way too weak for photosynthesis. The world turns dark, and the temperature really starts to drop. Then we go even deeper. Down below 1,000 meters, we hit the midnight zone. There's absolutely zero sunlight down here, and honestly, there hasn't been for millions of years. It's an unbelievably extreme world. We're talking temperatures colder than your refrigerator and a crushing hydrostatic pressure that is literally strong enough to flatten a car. To put our relationship with this extreme environment into perspective, get this. Over 70% of Earth's surface is covered by oceans, yet scientists estimate that we've explored less than 10% of them. Crazy, right? This massive, freezing, high-pressure, pitch-black midnight zone is actually the largest habitat on our entire planet, and yet it is still basically a total unknown to us. Now here is the incredible paradox. Without any sunlight, you'd think vision would be completely useless down there. Why even have eyes? Yet countless animals living in this midnight zone have highly developed, unbelievably sensitive eyes. Why? Well, because they aren't looking for sunlight. They're looking for tiny, split-second flashes of blue, green, and red flickering through the darkness, kind of like a giant underwater galaxy. Okay, let's dive into this. Where does this light come from? And why do so many deep-sea creatures glow? Section 1, the chemistry of cold light. So this mysterious glow is called bioluminescence. Now, unlike a flashlight or a campfire, this light isn't coming from some external power source or, combustion. It's actually created through a highly specific chemical reaction happening entirely inside the living cells of these creatures. And it's often referred to as cold light. The reason for that is because almost none of the energy is wasted as heat. It is for sure one of the most astonishingly energy-efficient forms of light known to exist anywhere in the universe. And this brilliantly illustrates the exact recipe. You need 3 key ingredients to make this cold light. Step 1 is luciferin, which is the actual light-producing molecule itself. Step 2 is luciferase, which is an enzyme that acts kind of like the trigger or catalyst. And step 3 is oxygen. When these 3 specific elements combine inside the animal's cells, boom, energy is instantly released as a brilliant burst of light. Now, you might be thinking this is just some rare parlor trick isolated to a few oddball species. But no way. Scientists estimate that a massive 75% of animals living in the deep ocean can actually produce their own light. Glowing isn't the exception down here. It is the absolute rule. Think about that. There are literally more glowing animals in the deep ocean than non-glowing ones. Section 2. Why everything glows blue. So why blue? It actually all comes down to the physics of how different colors travel through seawater. Blue light is incredibly penetrating. It can travel hundreds of meters through the ocean before dissipating. On the flip side, red and orange wavelengths are absorbed and disappear really, really quickly in water. So, by evolving blue bioluminescence, these animals are just maximizing their efficiency. They're making sure their signals can be seen from the furthest possible distance. But this physics quirk leads to some seriously clever evolutionary advantages. While blue is definitely the standard, a few rare species, like the deep-sea dragonfish, produce red light. Now remember what we just said, red light disappears quickly. Because of this, almost no other deep-sea animal has evolved the ability to even detect the color red. This gives the dragonfish a massive game-changing advantage. It acts exactly like an invisible flashlight or a pair of night vision goggles. The dragonfish can just shine this red light out to hunt prey that literally cannot even see the light hitting them. Section 3. Survival in the deep. The deep sea is a totally ruthless place, and bioluminescence acts as the ultimate multi-tool for survival. These flashes of light are secret messages, blaring sirens, and optical illusions, all rolled into one. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how these 4 strategies work in practice. Let's break down exactly how these animals use light to escape, hunt, mate, and hide. First up, escaping predators. Think of this as the ultimate underwater smoke bomb. Some species of deep-sea squid, when they're attacked, they don't just release black ink like the squids we see in shallow waters. Instead, they release confusing, glowing clouds of luminescent chemicals right into the water. The vampire squid actually takes this a step further. It ejects a glowing, sticky mucus to dazzle and distract its attackers, which gives the squid just enough time to vanish into the dark. But light is also used for the exact opposite purpose, hunting. The most famous example here is definitely the anglerfish. It's got this specialized dorsal fin that extends over its mouth like a fishing rod, with a glowing lure right at the tip. In the pitch black, curious fish see this glowing beacon, and they just swim closer to investigate. The light acts as irresistible bait, drawing them in until they disappear in a split second into the anglerfish's massive jaws. Perhaps the most mind-bending use of light, though, is for camouflage, specifically a technique called counter-illumination. This is literally hiding by glowing. See, many predators in the twilight zone hunt by looking upward, trying to spot the dark silhouettes of their prey against the very faint, dim sunlight filtering down from the surface. To counter this, some fish have light-producing organs right on their bellies. They carefully adjust their own bioluminescence to perfectly match the intensity and color of the faint sunlight above them. So, to a predator looking up, the fish's shadow completely disappears. They become practically invisible. Section 4. Illuminating human science. Let's head back up to the surface for a second, because bioluminescence is absolutely transforming modern medicine and technology for us humans. Scientists have actually taken the glowing proteins originally found in jellyfish and used them as biological markers. This allows researchers to attach these glowing tags to cancer cells to track exactly how they move. It helps them study complex neural pathways, monitor brain activity, and observe how diseases spread inside living organisms. These glowing proteins have completely revolutionized biology because they let scientists watch living, functioning cells in real time under a microscope without harming them at all. We're also studying these exact chemical reactions right now to develop next-generation sustainable lighting and environmental sensors. So the crucial point is, nature invented these tools millions of years before humans even understood chemistry. Everything we are frantically trying to engineer today in our most advanced state-of-the-art laboratories, energy-efficient lighting, real-time chemical sensors, complex optical illusions, well, the deep ocean perfectly mastered it, in the dark, eons ago. The deepest parts of our oceans might seem like this terrifying, empty void, but they are actually alive with silent conversations written in light. Every single flash you see down there has a highly specific purpose. It can be a warning, an invitation, a disguise, or a deadly trap. In a world where the sun's rays literally never reach, life didn't just surrender to the darkness. It adapted, it evolved, it created its own stars. The next time you look up at the night sky filled with glowing constellations, just remember that far below your feet, hidden beneath kilometers of crushing water, a completely different universe is shining, and it's one we have only just begun to understand. So, I gotta ask, which glowing deep-sea creature amazed you the most? Was it the invisible flashlight of the dragonfish, or maybe the glowing smoke bomb of the vampire squid? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed uncovering this hidden science with me on today's Explainer, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss out. Stay tuned because we've got more incredible science and wildlife explainers coming your way very soon.